go. Hello. 2 seconds. Is everyone in? Okay, as there is a limited number of actual drivers this week, we will just start the drivers briefing. So, welcome to the third round of the Anti-Stall Racing League W12. Pay attention or Kevin will cry, just the usual. Your race control team this week will be myself and Jazerker. I will be driving the safety car, so you will most likely get punted. General rules of the race. We're providing live shooting throughout, so there'll be drive-throughs, hold penalties, aka don't be an idiot. There will only be the safety car called if there is an incident involving 3 or more vehicles. You will have 2 quick repairs as the previous 2 rounds. You will automatically receive a drive-through penalty when you reach over 18 incident points. iRacing rules, get over it. If you feel the need to talk over the radio, don't do it. Keep it quiet. All incidents will be noted and will be investigated either throughout the race or post-race. Everything that is being investigated will be noted through the race control channel and will be broadcasted here and on the stream. If your incident's not mentioned, make a mental note of it and then create a ticket after the race. If you do not have the race control channel active through the black box, I will be very angry and sad. Okay, now moving on to qualifying conduct. If there is any actions of impeding throughout qualifying, you will have one single warning through the race control channel, and then will receive a penalty if there is any further impeding. It is an open qualifying session, so be aware of other drivers. And obviously there will be a chance of a pace difference between yourself and other drivers, so if so, leave a gap. If you're willing to leave a gap on your out lap, please do this after turn 14 or 130R. Outside of hot laps, there will be no overtaking after turn 15 and 16, which is the chicane. As a gentleman's agreement, if you do it, you're a bit of a dick. Other people will think that. If you're trying to leave a gap and or get people past you, stay off the racing lines, aka don't be an idiot. Watch your delta as you're exiting the pit so you don't impede anyone. The tyre compound from your fastest lap in qualifying will be used as your starting tyre in the race. Moving on to the race. The race will be 26 laps long. If you can't count, stay mad. Take it easy on lap 1. You can't win in turn 1. Some people think they can. Kevin. All incidents within lap 1 will be taken extremely seriously and will be watched over by multiple people. There is no refueling during the race, so if you run out, you run out. During a caution / a drive-through, keep a safety car, make sure you keep a safe distance and keep a reasonable speed around you with the other cars. Slow down for any yellow flags and pay attention to them. If you don't, you'll get penalties. Any driver who either comes off the track and needs to safely rejoin, please do this with a safe manner. Don't be dumb. You're all racing drivers. During the race, you will be required to make a compound change. If you don't do this, you will receive a post-race penalty, and don't know what else. Yeah. So 26 laps, open qualifying for 20 minutes. Don't be dumb. Thank you, gentlemen. Keep your heads down. Don't crash. If there are any questions, please ask in the W12 series channel.
Real quick, before everyone leaves, we will once again be using a manual safety car, which will be driven by this person right next to me in the chat. We will be calling that out through voice chat and through race control chat, so make sure you have the channel enabled and that you pay attention to it. We'll try to make it more smooth than last week, but be aware if you see a lot of cars in front of you slowing down, be smart. That's basically it. Any further questions?
A post-race DSQ is still a post-race penalty, Blackie. Stefano, I will do a radio check back in the session once we all clear out of here. If there are any further other questions, we'll move on and let you guys get on with the end of your practice.
I think that's about it.
Yeah. appears there's no questions. Okay, I will move back down to my little hellhole.
Enjoy. Everyone else, good race. Good luck.
Goodbye.
Hello everyone, my name is Edward, alongside me is Wes, and today we will be commentating the third round of the Anti-Star F1 W12 Series League. So, we are today at the Suzuka International Racing Course, a 18-turn circuit, and it always brings amazing racing. Wes, how do you think is this race gonna pan out? Especially that we are here, and it's such a hard track because you don't really have a lot of time to breathe. And I'm curious, what do you think about this race?
This track is a fantastic track. Obviously, one of the only tracks where it goes under itself, which is absolutely brilliant. Or all over itself, where you want to look at it, I guess. But it's a fantastic track. So many different corners. A lot of fast corners, obviously 130 yard. And you have this tight chicane at the end of the lap. Turn 1, a very difficult... Well, turn 2 really more the difficult corner, as turn 1's pretty flat these days in these cars. Turn 2 being more of a... You're turning while braking, and it's all very difficult, and it's quite a slow apex corner. And you have the nice S's. The track flows really well, and it's definitely a challenging track. Overtaking in these cars, I would like to think a bit difficult maybe. With the help of DRS, could be a bit easier, I assume, but side-by-side action, quite difficult, I'd like to think, with dirty air being a big thing, and the first sector with the S's, how it flows nicely. It's kind of a one line, one car at a time circuit.
Yeah, you mentioned DRS. We only have one DRS zone. The DRS zone is on the start-finish line. And I'm curious, how will the drivers approach it? And we've just heard the driver's briefing, and the rules are, you know, a little bit harsh on any move. And we've also seen in real life that this track is not amazing for overtaking. So I'm very curious to see how will drivers approach this race, and if they will try anything mad in the first lap, because that's pretty much where you can do most of the overtakes on this track.
Yeah, everyone being quite compact, quite an interesting couple of corners, quite close, quite tight as well, I'd say, especially when we have, what do we have now? I think it's 20 cars, maybe 19, going into turns 1 and 2. Quite a tight circuit, not too much width to the actual track itself. Hopefully no incidents, but of course we do have the safety car, the actual real life safety car, real driver, I should say, safety car, which is a thing that is fascinating to me because I've never been involved with something that has an actual driver in the safety car seat, so that's cool. Yeah, I think he is in the pit lane at the moment.
Cannot hear you. Damn.
Sitting in the pit lane, but I have seen him out on track. A few cars following him in practice for them to, you know, get used to it, because it's not as easy. Because obviously having an actual driver in the safety car seat instead of the computer adds an element to it as well. I think adds quite an interesting element to it, as it will slow down however it would like to, and it's not as that it doesn't have the same pattern. You can work out what a computer's going to do, but with an actual driver behind the safety car, it adds a nice element to get used to for some of the drivers.
Yep, I agree. I feel like it's a very nice touch for not only this league but for league racing in general. You know, it feels a lot more real, the actual race. Anyways, we still have 4 minutes left of practice. Mark Stevens is in the lead of the practice. Johan Roussel, the French driver, is in second place with a 126.0. The lead time is 125.9. And Luka Wunsch, the winner of the first 2 races, only third with a 126.5. I wonder if there is going to be anyone else who will be able to compete with Luka Wunsch, because he has won the first 2 races. The first win was in a very dominant manner. The second one have been a good battle with Alex Seguya, the driver that we are watching now. And I'm very curious if he's now just, sandbagging, or we might see a different winner today.
Yeah, he's only just joined the practice session as well, I've noticed. So whether he's just trying to get into the gist of things, or maybe we will have a fight on our hands. Quite close at the top, must admit, between those 2 drivers. So if Luca does get involved in that, we could have quite a good 3-way fight for this win today. So end his lap. Can improve. I can see to the left of me. Will it actually be? No, best.
Thank you.
I think they're all out there doing quali runs now. Interesting to see how different times are with to race runs, especially with how they deploy the battery power. I find that very fascinating in these cars, and quite difficult to get used to. Trying to keep the battery charge up during qualifying, to put all the power down in 1 lap during qualifying. I find it quite difficult. Interesting to see where the power will be deployed on this circuit, and where I think these corners are quite good actually for saving some battery power during the race. That could be a nice tactic to watch out for throughout the race today.
Yeah, I agree. And these cars have been amazingly built. Like, I was watching some videos. I never actually drove this car when racing, but I've seen some videos on YouTube, and I've seen that they even have the magic brake button that Lewis Hamilton pressed by mistake in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's such a nice touch, and again, it makes the game feel real. And yeah, it just makes a much better experience from my point of view.
Yeah, fully agree. Actually, all the little buttons and settings and different things they have, they didn't put them in the actual car, and there's so much to information, so many different settings, and it's quite overwhelming. Actually, I'd have to say, especially not being used to that much different settings you can use. I drive a foreign car most of the time, and there's only really changed the brake ballast or the traction control, the ABS, and you go. On these cars, there is so much to change, including the diffs as well. You can mess around with the diffs mid-race, which interesting actually. I'd say I wouldn't want to start messing with that, but there's a lot of different settings. So I do believe this is it a fixed setup. If I'm not wrong, I feel like it is. Could be wrong. Setup.
So we only have about 5 seconds of practice left. Today's ending. And this is it for practice. I'm looking forward to qualifying, especially because of the shape of the track and the fact that you can't really overtake. The qualifying is going to be very important on this track and on this race in general. So it's going to be very interesting to see. obviously you want to qualify up there on top, especially to avoid incidents. Because when you're in the pack, you are at a very big risk of being involved in an incident. And we are now seeing the drivers going out for qualifying. The qualifying has just started, so there is no break between practice and qualifying. We go straight to it, and we see a lot of drivers going out.
Wait, the qualifying. One's out there. 20 minutes qualifying.
We're now watching Luka Wunsch, I think. Yes, we're watching Luka Wunsch, the Drivers' Championship standings leader, the winner of the first two races, also the winner of yesterday's race, the Christmas GT3 race. And, you know, I'm just curious of his approach. Like, how much did he practice for this? Because, you know, coming from yesterday's race where he won pretty dominant, I'm curious if he had the time to practice for it, or is it just the first time with this car on this track? Because as you've mentioned, he joined a little late, the server.
Yeah, did he put all his practice into the GT3 series instead? That is a good question. I guess we'll find out during this qualifying session how much speed he has. I do believe he will be the first car to set a time, unless Great, which road came out before him, is Elias on one. No, I don't think so. So I do believe that Luca will be the first driver to set a lap time here in qualifying.
Yep, so here we go. We will go for a wall up with him. And now he's going through Spoon very fast here. Oh, it's fun! Just as I wanted to go on lap with him and to take you, the viewers, through every corner, he just spun out. He lost the backhand there.
Backhand
That's
on
a
the curb.
mistake. And I feel like that's what we talked about. The lack of practice, because these things happens because of lack of practice. But again, we don't know. Maybe he's just sandbagging. Maybe we are doing something different.
I think he's caught the outside curve there on Spoon. It's just sent him round. So Mark ends up being the first car to set a time, pulls off. Everyone's just doing one lap, are they? One lap and then straight into the pits. Is that how this is going to go?
Yep, Mark Stevens 126.4. So that's 5/10 of what Mark Stevens had in practice. The best time from practice, 125.991 from Mark Stevens. The same driver that is now top of the table. We're now watching Antonio Diaferia, if I'm not wrong. But that's a pretty bad lap. 140.
Times aren't counting when they're crossing the line, so people are either cutting or not setting times. Antonio just goes up.
Let's see Wojciech Kościuk now, setting a lap time. Again, another lap time that didn't count it. So that's mainly because of track limits and the lap time being deleted. Stefan Hoffman up in P8, up in P7. So we're watching a lot of drivers now searching for a spot to leave the pit lane. Last Stromer now on a lap, up in P8, but that's only at 128.8. Now it's not a great lap. I think he's done a mistake. Might go again. Kevin Stam is also on a lap.
Pulls off into the old. Is that the old pit lane? What's interesting?
I think he missed the pit lane. Well, that's not where you want to go for entering the pit lane, but in the virtual world, look like it's worked. It
Yeah.
works. If only that would be in real life. We're now watching Wojciech Kościuk again going for a lap. 5 green sectors as of now. He only has to go through the last 3 corners, the chicane, and then corner 17, the Kaiser Triangle. Let's see where will he end up. That's 127.9, I think. 126.9, that's up in third place. Beautiful lap by Wojciech Kościuk.
Well, I can
And he go again.
I can see what tyre they're currently on, and I believe Mark was on the medium when he said his lap. You can see by obviously the yellow or the red. A few people on the mediums, but like for example, Callis is on the mediums, which you can see now. A few people on the soft though. Interesting to see how much of a difference tyre compound makes. Obviously, they have to make a pit stop during the race to swap compounds. They have to use at least 2 compounds in the race.
Yeah, but as I've watched everyone going around, most of them are on the mediums.
They're quite a few.
So it's also psychological thing. When you are seeing everyone around you going on the medium tires, you are also going to go for the medium tires because you don't want to be the only one on a different strategy. Even though sometimes that might work. That might work and put you in a very good position. But this time, no one looks like it's going to take a risk. We're now watching Hannes struggle, who just pulled over, I think, and he goes straight to the pit lane. So the top 3 as of now: Mark Stevens 126.4, still 5/10 of his time from practice. Alex Eguia in second place 126.7, and Wojciech Kościuk 126.9. Alex Eguia finished second in both of our races last week and also 2 weeks ago. I know he's hungry for victory, but this time he's second again. But we still have 13 minutes to go, so a lot of things will change in the standings that we're having now. I think we're now watching Giacomo Canavesi, if I'm not wrong. He's setting a lap time and he's up in P8. The Italian driver. Also, that is Steve Grabowski setting a lap time. Or he was just starting his first lap. Nope, he finished lap. Up in 5th place, Steve Grabowski, the American driver. Stefano Bettega up in 4th place. Where is Luca Wunsch, the winner from first race, is still yet to set a lap time. Antonio Diaferia up in 8th place, 127.8. Ngokan Nguyen up in 5th place. Hopefully I haven't mispronounced his name.
No, I feel like you've nailed that. I wouldn't have. Yeah, go say it again for me. That was
Yeah, Ngokan Nguyen up in 5th place. Wow.
brilliant.
I hope he's gonna finish on the podium just so that we have an interview with him and ask him how is his name pronounced. So we're now watching Alex Eguia, the driver in 2nd place, finishing his lap. Not anymore in 2nd place because Radetzky oh my god. Talking about names.
Yeah.
Radetzky Okay, I think we're just gonna call him Radetzky from now on.
Car 5 is what I'm going to go for. Fine. Bit of traffic going on there. Passing, that's all fine. With Johan, I believe. Coming to the end of the lap. 16 drivers a set of time now. 6 temp gap still at the top of the field.
Yep, Johan Rousselio, the driver who finished in the points in the 2nd race, he finished in 7th place at Spa-Francorchamps, and now he goes in top 10 again, P5. Kevin Stam will also finish his lap time I think we should be keeping an eye on him because he's on a good lap. We know he's a very fast driver. We know that from other leagues where he is racing and from other leagues that Anti-Star Racing are actually running. And Kevin Stan finishes the lap only P11. That's not great to see. Luca Funch, let's see, the driver that won the first two races will go and end the lap. That's 127, I think it is. 126.3, so he goes up in second place. Still behind Mark Stevens. Mark Stevens, fastest in practice, 126.1. As of now, also fastest in qualifying. So he looks like he has done his homework and has practiced for this race.
Also, still on the medium tyre. Everybody after him is now on the soft. Basically, all the way till P9, then a few of them on the mediums again. So, how much time has he got if he goes and swaps over to some softs for the last half of this qualifying session?
If I'm not wrong, Mark Stevens have not raced in any of our races as of now, in the Spa race or at Silverstone. So that's very interesting to see. Him at the first race just going and leading the qualifying. For Shakoshtuk said lap time haven't improved back in the pit lane. Let's see, we're now watching Stefano Bettega, the driver that is in 8th place, is running up the lap in the last corner. That's 126.9, so he goes up in 5th place. Good lap by him. Also, Alex Eguia is close to finish the lap right now. He goes up in 4th place. Alex Eguia up there where his place is, taking in consideration the last races. Alex Eguia up in 3rd place. How did he go from 4th to 3rd? That may be a lap time invalidated, but I'm not really sure. Radechki got down in 4th place. Yep, we're to see, but these are the problems with virtual racing. These things can happen. Mark Stevens, the driver that we're watching now, he's leading the qualifying with a car that is all black, no sponsors, no other things, just a plain car. He's going for another lap, and he's still on the mediums.
Yeah, still on the mediums, yeah. Also still pole, so maybe he knows something that others don't.
Okay, it would be very beautiful to see the actual liveries of drivers. Like on any other car, you can. I know we talked about this also yesterday in the GT3 race. You know, with any other car, you can just create your livery and express yourself. But with these cars, you are pretty much limited. We see some drivers only coloring the Petronas and Ineos sponsors, but some drivers can actually paint their cars, but they cannot put any sponsors on it. So, yeah, you know, we might have seen some interesting liveries, but that's impossible as of now.
Sadly, they haven't allowed that because I think they were too worried about everyone putting a Red Bull liveried car on the Mercedes. One thing we have to deal with, but it's okay because at least we have the car, I guess.
Yep. One thing that I've noticed throughout this qualifying is that we haven't had any incident. No one crashed, no one spinned. Only Luca Wunsch that in the first lap. That was the only spin that we've seen in 15 minutes of qualifying. And also, taking into consideration that we're at Suzuka, that's a performance, I think, from all the drivers.
Very difficult track, so play to them for not spitting. I don't know if I can see the chat. If you're in the chat, type something and send a message through, because I'm not sure if mine's loading or not. A minute. Jasper's coming to the end of his lap now. Is he going to finish with 5 minutes left of qualifying? Goes
17th.
21 cars. Teams have now put a qualifying lap in. A lot of cars. That's fantastic, that.
Nguyen up in 11th place. He is also on the lap. Let's see how will he finish it. He's now going to through turns 15 and 16, the chicane where we've seen in real life that incident between Lando Norris and Alex Albon. So we might keep an eye on that corner because we will see some incidents in the race there, I'm sure. Nguyen only 1.30, so that's not an amazing lap. He's still in 11th place. Luka Wunsch is on a good lap. 3 green sectors, but still no purple sector, so he cannot get close to Mark Stevens. But let's see how will he finish the lap. Turns 15 and 16 now, and he's going to round up the lap, going through the last corner. Luka Wunsch a little bit on the grass there, close to the wall, but that's only on 127.3, still improving. Oh, he improved 126.287. So he's close, only 1/10 between them two. There is a bit of a lag between our telemetry and what are you actually seeing on the stream, so this is why some of the times that I'm saying are wrong, but we've just seen Luka Wunsch going up in 2nd place, which is beautiful to see. Class de Moer up in 6th place, 126.9 also. I think we're now seeing Benny Feige finishing his lap. Benny Feige up in 6th place, 126.9. And the first 5 drivers are now on an out lap. And that's for them, I think, the last run before the end of qualifying. I don't think there's time to set another lap time. I've just read something from the steward notes. There is a warning for car number 3, Stefano Bettega, for impeding car number 44 on a hot lap. So that was impeding Luka Wunsch on a hot lap. And Johan Roussel up in 2nd place. Oh, that's close between the first 3 drivers. Only 1/10 between 1st place and 3rd place. And Johan Roussel will get another lap till the end.
The last
But
couple of laps now.
Yep, we're not seeing any purple on the graphic right now. Everyone is on slow laps. We're not seeing even green sectors, only yellow sectors. So for our viewers that don't know, if there is a yellow sector, that means the driver is not even improving his best time. If there's a green, that means he's improving his best time. And if it's a purple sector, that means it has improved the best sector overall. So, as I've said, no purple sectors, which is pretty sad to see right now. Maybe it's the track temperature, maybe something happened. The drivers are not improving. Jasper Smelt improved, but he's still 17th.
Yeah, they're doing very small improvements. I think a mistake from Kevin there out of the last corner. He won't improve, but yeah, small improvements being made.
Incident between car 56 and car 71 being investigated.
Bas Kessel, 3 green sectors, but he's already 1 minute and 28 seconds in the lap, so he improved, but not by a lot. Wojtek Kościuk is also on a decent lap. I don't know, he's gone back into the pit lane? Or something happened. Anyways, we're now watching Luka Wunsch rounding out the last corner again. Luka Wunsch. Did he improve? Yes, he improved! 126.0, so he goes into a virtual pole position, but Mark Stevens is still on lap. Doesn't look like he's on a gray lap, but he's still on one. No, I think it's a cooldown lap. So if he will not go straight into the pit lane, he will go again. No, he goes to the pit lane. So that's it. This is it for the qualifying. Luka Wunsch will start from pole position for the 3rd consecutive time with Mark Stevens in 2nd place.
From what I can work out, the telemetry when their timing is off by dead on a second. So when they cross the line of their time, it's actually a second quicker than it says it is. What I've worked out, it's not calculating something in somewhere. See if P20 can improve. Yeah, 8.3. Did he end up doing 28.3? 28.2. Doesn't improve his place, but does improve his time. Stays P20, and that is all 20 cars done.
Radicki is still on lap. I don't know if he's... Nope, that's it.
I can't find anybody. Couple incident. In the session, I think I believe for some blocking.
Yep.
Too, I think.
Just got the information, the incident between car number 56, so that's Antonio Diaferia, and car number 71, which is Alex Eguia, is under investigation. We don't know what happened. We haven't seen anything on the live stream, but that, as you mentioned, Wes, that might be for impeding on a fast lap. I don't really know what's happening right now on the track because as we're seeing on the map, there's no one setting a lap time, but we're 2 minutes already after we finish qualifying. So, yep, I don't really know what's happening.
There you go. Now it will take us to race. Grid, I believe.
Yep, this is great for the anti-style third race of the W12 series. Luca Wunsch takes and will start from pole position for the third consecutive time. Very close to him, Mark Stevens, so we will have a beautiful battle between them too. Second row, Johan Roussel in third place and Stefano Beteka in fourth place. Alex Guia will start fifth alongside Radecki in sixth place. Wojciech Kościuk will start seventh and Benny Fitch will start eighth. Klasebor in the fifth row of the grid, and Kevin Stan will start alongside him in 10th. Ngokhan Nguyen in 11th place, and Steve Grabowski in 12th place, Silvio Lazar in 13th, and Elias Stromer in 14th. The 8th row of the grid, Stefan Hoffman in 15th, Antonio Diaferia in 16th, Bas Kessel P17, Jasper Smelt P18, Leon Van Elvoet, and then Giacomo Canavesi rounding out the 10th row of the grid. Jean Ovale, P21, and the last car on the grid, Scott Smith. Only less than 1/10 between the first two drivers after qualifying, so I'm sure we will see a beautiful race between Luca Wunsch and Mark Stevens. We are preparing ourselves for the race. We are waiting the 5 red lights. I think we still have 20 seconds till we will see the lights going out.
I think, if I'm not wrong, I think we got a while. But we have a minute. Or do we have...
Yeah, but we'll see now.
Here
20
we go.
minutes. So here we go. We have the lights ahead of us. 1 light, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights ahead of the drivers. And away we go. That's a good start, a very good start from Luca Wunsch. Mark Stevens keeps the second place. Yes, he does. Alex Higuain third. Stefano Betega fourth. Roussel side by side there with Gregor. Kevin Stan also up a place, so we're not seeing any incidents after the first corner, which is always great to see. Stefan Hoffman there is side by side with Nguyen. They are still going side by side, and Nguyen just gets the position. Luca Wunsch already 1 second up to Mark Stevens, so that was a great start. And Luca Wunsch looks like he has the race pace to go and and build a gap to driver in second place. Johan Roussel still very close there to Radicki for in the battle for 5th place. Let's see, we're now going to Spoon, watching Kevin Stam and Steve Grabowski. Grabowski has the white and light blue car with a little bit of pink.
Safety car,
He's the last car into the points places. P10 for him.
There's a safety car, so we will find out what's happened. I believe if there is a crash, I will take you to it now. This is why there is a safety car.
This is what happened. Oh, whoa. That was a big crash. And if that would have been real life, the Halo would have saved another life. I think that was Leon Van Elvoet, as we are seeing his name in the bottom of our screen. And also
I think it
Jace Persnet,
was it Antonio. So it's
and also the Antonio Di Feria, the Italian driver. Let's see. Oh, yep. Antonio Di Feria just got a little bit scared, locked up the tires, and gone straight there in turn 9, if I'm not wrong. Yes, he was just after the Dunlop curve, so P9.
people have pitted. I've noticed. Kevin Stam and Alex have pitted. I don't know if that's to change that. I don't know how quick are pit stops in this get. Are they? Maybe they've both changed tire compounds. Maybe. Yes, I believe they have. Yep, they have. So they've changed their tires. I did get told that you can do basically the full race on a set of mediums, and they have changed from softs to mediums. Antonio here has gone from mediums to hard, so some people have. It says it's on hards, but I can see yellow tires, so maybe they're not hards. It's interesting. But people have pitted, and that will be their stop for the race under their safety car then. So that's interesting. Good strategy by a few there. Jump to the safety car. No one's caught up to him yet. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just a little bit too early. Pit now. It's on lap 1, and it's going to be a massive disadvantage when everyone goes into the pit lane, and the leader, Luca Wurst, is in the pit lane. Just as we talked about this. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. So, a split strategy between the first two drivers. Luca Wurst is going into pit lane. Let's see. He's down in P8, P9. So, he doesn't lose that much place. He's down in 10th place.
Catch the safety car as fast as possible.
Did Alex Eguia PT too? Because Alex Eguia was up there.
Yes, he did. He has, yes.
So, Luca Wunsch and Alex Eguia, the drivers that started 1st and 5th, are now 10th and 14th. So that's going to be very interesting to see. I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't have chose this strategy because Luca Wunsch will now have to overtake a lot of cars, and he will now be exposed to a big risk because there are many incidents and crashes happening in the middle of the pack. And, you know, you never know what's going to happen.
I also promised that it does say he's on the softs, but he is on the mediums now. He started on the softs, but we were on board when he pitted, so I don't believe the compound has changed, but he is on now the mediums. Same with Alex in P14. It says he's on the red compound tyre, but he's actually on the yellow one. And a few people gone onto the hards, P19 and P20, but obviously on your screen I don't think they are white. But nope, they're yellow, but they, trust me, on the information screen they are white, so they have actually changed compounds. They are, the hards will definitely make it to the end of this race, I'll have to say. And hello on the Twitch chat.
Remember, no DRS after restart until race control activated again. Also, race control, don't forget to activate DRS again.
Yep, there was my mistake. I've mentioned Scott Smith on the grid, but he's actually our safety car driver, so he haven't started the race on the grid. He has started from pit lane and he's now driving the safety car.
He's
As you
definitely
hear-
involved in the race. Counts if he definitely counts if he leads a lap. So he's now
Well-
leaving them behind, I believe. So it is go, I believe, going to be go this time round. So here we go.
Nope, one more lap behind
Oh,
the
no.
safety car.
Not then. I'm surprised by that.
Wes, I'm curious of your opinion. If you would be racing now, would have you pitted like Luka Wunsch, or you would have stayed on these tires?
I got told earlier today that the mediums can go the entirety, basically, of this race. So I would have pitted. Because obviously the amount of time. Yeah, we'll always see actually how much can Mark Stevens get a gap, I guess, and how long does it take Luca to pass the top 10? That is the big question. But I personally, even if I was leading, I probably would have pitted, knowing that now I can go to the end with no worries and not having to pit. You have that extra time in the bag, if you know what I mean. So I probably would have pitted, but it is a risk because now, as you said, he's in P10. He's got to overtake some cars. It's dangerous. He's got to overtake a good 9 cars really to get back into his position, and it's tight round here. But again, everybody else does have to pit now in front of him at some point. So pros and cons, I guess.
Yep. Luka Wunsch and Alex Iguea have finished first and second in first 2 races today. It doesn't look like they will be up there again. That's a nice touch. We're seeing the logo of our league on a safety car. So that's always great to see. Just as we were talking about the small bits of reality that we're seeing.
The safety car will be next lap. Next lap.
I think the safety car will come in at the end of this lap. Sadly, we don't have lights on the car to actually know when the safety car is coming in. But I think the safety car will go in at the end of this lap. No, it stays out.
Next lap then.
What's going on?
Being
So
told
the safety car.
this lap.
Yep. Yep, the safety car will go in at the end of this lap. So this has been a pretty long safety car for the small incident that we've had, but
Lap 1 incident.
yep, it is what it is.
19 and 20.
We're staying still on this situation. So the top 10, as after 5 laps, Mark Stevens leading the race, Stefano Bettega second place, Radicki in third place, Johan Roussel in fourth place, and Benny Fij in fifth place, Wojciech Korczuk sixth, Steve Grabowski in seventh place, the American driver, Sylvie Lazar in eighth place, Klazebor ninth, and Luka Wunsch, the driver who started from pole position and was also leading the race, is now down into 10th place because he has boxed and he's now on fresh tires. He completed that mandatory pit stop.
Let's have a look then. Remind ourselves why we're under the safety car. This is the incident. Does Leon just lose it on his own? Yeah, fully on his own, and then just...
Safety car in this lap.
That's unfortunate, I think. So
I don't know if I've... Oh,
watch it again. Does he just lose it on his own? And sadly, the 2 cars behind him have nowhere to go.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I think that's what happened. So Leon lost it, and then the 2 cars behind him just crashed with him. But here we are now going through Spoon. Lap number 5, still behind the safety car.
Don't listen to Kevin with
Just as a heads up, where you can see there lap 5 out of 26, and then there is a timer, so the race is either going to last for 26 laps or 1 hour and 10 minutes. But the chances of that going to 1 hour and 10 minutes is pretty small. So the safety car has gone in. Mark Stevens will now set a pace. Will Shuri whenever he thinks his right moment. It looks like it has happened now. Mark Stevens already started the race. 8 10 got behind. Breaks the slipstream, breaks the tow, and that's him keeping the lead. Radechki and Roussel, they are very close one to each other. Or that was Roussel with Benefij. Anyways, we're now seeing Steve Lazar and Luca Funch. Luca Funch is already up one place. He should be patient. He shouldn't do any mad moves because he still has a long race to go. A little bit wide there. But that's Johan Roussel going down the gap. Oh, and he's in the wall. Johan Roussel is in the wall. Up there, I think that was in Dunlop. Turn 7 when he lost it, where he lost it. And he's down in P21. That's very sad to see for a driver that started in 3rd place. Luca Wunsch. Up in P8, there's another driver around. Nguyen, the Moroccan. Oh, and that's a crash. That's Leon Van Elvoet again with Nguyen.
Here we go, what's that?
Did Leon Van Elvoet? Oh, he just could not avoid it. Yeah, sadly there was nothing he could do about it. So just got an information from the stewards. The incident between car number 18, 19 and 20. So the crash that brought out the safety car is not going to be investigated, or it has been investigated, and the conclusion is it's a race incident. So DRS will be enabled on lap 8 and is disabled as of now for this because of the safety car that we've had. We're now watching the bell for P17, not anymore. I think we should be watching the bell for 2nd place because there are only 3 tenths between the driver in 3rd place and 2nd place, Betega and Radechki. Radechki, a beautiful recovery. He started 6th in the race. Also, Stefano Betega started 4th. So they are now 2nd and 3rd, maybe because of the distance, maybe because of Luca Wunsch and Alex Liguia pitting. Luca Wunsch looks stuck in P8 behind Claes de Boer. Let's see what can he do.
We should go have a look at Jonah having his error. This is what happens. Wow.
Oh, he just lost it. Cold tires. And around. There was nothing he could do on the grass. And that's Luca Wunsch going up a place. Up in P7 just before 130R. Up in P7. So now the gap between Mark Stevens and Luca Wunsch is about 5-6 seconds between them two. So that's not big enough for Mark Stevens to have a free pit stop. Luca Wunsch has gone up the places as he should have very fast. Alex Seguin in 10th place. We're now watching him.
We are on lap 8.
He is also one of the drivers to box, so he will not pit anymore in this race unless an incident or something else happens. Luca Wunsch now close to Steve Grabowski, the American driver. So Luca Wunsch looks like he's the man on a mission. He's pushing. He's up there on a pace. I think he's faster than Mark Stevens, but I'm not actually seeing the times right now. Now going through Spoon, that was a small mistake from Steve Grabowski. And by mistake, we are now going through Spoon. We have been there in the hairpin. So here it is going through the crossover. Oh, at the slipstream, Luca Wunsch. Will he try something in 130R? No, he's a little bit far away. Steve Grabowski looks like he has a speed advantage on a straight line.
I think Elias has had a accident. We're going to quickly have a look at what has happened to Elias. Disappears, comes back. I assume then it's in the hairpin. What happens to Elias?
Oh, he lost it on his own.
You lose it again? I've got another crack. Oh, he dies.
Yeah, that's the lack of concentration. You do a mistake, then you get angry, and then you do another one. So, yeah, pretty sad to see from Elias Stromer, a very fast driver. We also seen him yesterday. Luka Wunsch chasing down Steve Grabowski. He doesn't look like he found the place and the time to overtake Johan Roussel. He also has a lot of ground to make up for because he has been implicated in that crash right here in lap number 7. Johan Roussel, I don't know if he boxed or if he's on the same tires.
I believe he's on the same tires.
Anyways, we're back here with Luka Wunsch, still stuck behind Steve Grabowski. Also something from the stewards, the DRS has been enabled, and this time Luka Wunsch is much closer. Obviously not using the DRS because that's not a DRS zone. The DRS zone is on the start finish line. We'll try to go on the outside there of turn 15, but it's very hard to do that. And now that's a small mistake for Steve, and they were very close to contact. I don't know if they touched, but now on DRS, Luka Wunsch pretty aggressive. They're going on inside, and I think that's job done. He's angry. I know that he's angry because he just shut the door ahead of Steve. But that's him going up in 6th place. We're now seeing Joan So Vale down in 12th place. Kevin Stam is behind him very close. Also, he's chasing down Stefan Hoffman. Joan So with a blue livery that's looking amazing on his Mercedes car. That's something that I really noticed. It looks a little bit like the Williams F1 livery. Anyways, Kevin Stam very close to him with talking about liveries. He's looking like he's driving a McLaren. I don't know if something happened to Nguyen.
It has, yeah, he's gone off the track. We have a look now. Oh, there's a car off in front of him too. Who was that?
That was, I think, Diafrata, if I'm not wrong. Diaferia. Just lost it there. Oh, that's a huge impact. I think he will need to tow back to the pit lane. Anyways, Kevin Stam will now try to go around the outside. That's a hard move to pull through, but on the start finish. Oh no, he lost it! He lost it! He's going back on track, but he loses position after position down in P17, P18 now. Kevin Stam, after a while was close to 12th place, now he's down in 18th place. Benny Fidge now, we're watching him. 4th place, only 5 tenths behind Stefano Bettega.
I want to note the fact that Alex has moved up to P9, and here's the move he made into 130R. Down the straight, done before the corner. He is also obviously pitted just like Luca, and he is making his way up the field. Obviously he was P14, Luca's P10, now Luca's P6 and Alex is P9, so they've made the same amount of progress through the field.
Benny Fidge is close to Stefano Bettega, but you need to be closer to overtake on this track. It's not as easy as on what we've seen on Spa and on Silverstone, because on Silverstone you have many overtaking spots. Also on Spa you can overtake in around 3 or 4 spots. Here it's a little bit harder because besides the first corner you don't really have many chances. You can overtake also on 130R, but that's not really recommended. Now Alex Seguia will try to go around the outside of Klaas de Boer. He keeps it behind. He doesn't want to get involved in any crash or in any battle that will cause him more problems. Alex Seguia 6 behind for now. Lap 12 out of 26. Yeah, it's a pretty calm race as of now, Wes.
I think the pit stops will come around lap 15 or before. So the gap they need to make, well, that's if tyre wear works to how you would think it would work. The mediums should go longer than the softs, and vice versa. So people on the softs, well, actually, did I say that? Mark's on the mediums, isn't he? He's still on the mediums, and Mark could possibly go to, I think, maybe lap 19, maybe he could be trying. So he needs to obviously stretch that gap out to a good car. Good, what? How long we say the pit stop is? Do we reckon? Obviously, the pit window, they're in the pit lane for 23, but it is about 25-ish seconds for a pit stop here. So he needs a 25-second gap back to Luca. And somebody has pitted as I've been talking about that. There you go. That gives Luca another place.
Wojciechowski in a pit lane. And that's Benefic going up a place, I think.
Not able to do so.
No, it's not, but there's someone losing it. That's Benefic. That's Benefic. And we've seen it so many times. Trevor's trying to overtake and then just making a mistake. So I think there's a lack of concentration in this race today. And he's coming back just alongside Steve Grabowski. Alex Seguia, I think, has done a mistake because Alex Seguia was very close to Steve. Now he's 4 seconds behind. I don't know what happened to Alex Seguia. But that hands Luca Wunsch another place. So now the gap between Mark Stevens and Luca Wunsch is only 8 seconds. Only 8 seconds, and Mark Stevens is yet to pit. So, after he will enter the pit lane, Mark Stevens with fresh tires will need to recover about 16 seconds. Wow, this is going to be a mission and a half for the Dutch driver.
I'm trying to calculate it out in my head. Leon's gone off, sadly. Let's have a look at what happened to Leon.
Jan Van
Oh,
Elvoet's
5. Oh, yeah, he's all fine.
another mistake from him. Wow, when it rains, it pours, as they would say. And it has been a bad race for Leon Van Elvoet, sadly. Benefic is in the pit lane. Stefano Bettega is in the pit lane. So Luca Wunsch is now up in 3rd place. 9 seconds between the 1st and 3rd driver. Radecki is between them two. Alex Seguia is also up in 5th place, but I think he has done a mistake because he's still looking time active. So Mark Stevens will not only have to overtake Luca Wunsch, but he will have to overtake Alex Seguia. So he will be in 3rd place after everyone will be boxing. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting to see. Now, I feel like Luca Wunsch is on the winning strategy, but we're still 13 laps away from the end of the race. Anything can happen, and we've seen also at Silverstone race, also at the Spa race. In this league, you shouldn't pick a winner so early because a lot of things can happen. Stefano Bettega now, very close to Jasper Spell. He will try now down inside there to Spoon. That's a hard place to overtake. We've also seen in real life the incident between Vettel and Verstappen when Vettel gone wide and Stefano Bettega thought about it better and just backed out. But now, through the straight line before 130R, he will try to go down inside through 130R. That's move done. Jasper Spell just backed down, but he keeps there on the inside through the chicane. Now he backed out. Stefano Bettega is on fresh tires, so there wasn't any point of Jasper Spell to try to keep ahead of him. Also, Wojciechowski is on fresh tires behind him. And Gwen is in the pit lane, but he's only down in P17. Gap between the 1st and 3rd driver, 9 seconds between Stefan and Wunsch. We're now watching Benefic, P14, switched up, and now we're watching Basquesel. Did something happen to Class the ball?
It has.
It did.
Have a look.
Oh, he's just locked up. Braked a little late, locked up, and gone straight into the wall. And then straight back to the pit lane for repairs, I think. Oh, and that's gonna cost him a lot of time. sad for the Dutch driver. Talking about Dutch drivers, we have one at the top of the race, but I don't know what strategy is he going now. Is he now? What tires is he on? Is he on the medium tires?
He did the qualifying on medium, so he started on medium, so he's gonna go on to the soft, which is the fastest tire. But he's got I think maybe a lap or two more to go, and then he'll probably pit to try and get the most out of the softs.
So basically, he will stay out for, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 laps, and he will try and go flat out to recover about 17 seconds. Come back to Luca Wunsch. This is going to be hard. This is going to be very hard for Mark Stevens. Luca Wunsch is now...
And there's a lapped
Close.
car.
Oh, that's lapped car. He's 4 seconds behind Radicki. Radicki also did not pit. Alex Seguia is 13 seconds behind Luca Wunsch. When did he lose that much time? Because at the start it's been pretty close, and now the gap looks very big. So Luca Wunsch and Alex Seguia finished first and second in this order in the first race and also in the second race, and now they're looking like they're going to finish in this order again after the pit stops will take place for Mark Stevens and Radicki and also Steve Grabowski. But Alex Seguia looks stuck behind the American driver. He has been there for about 4 or 5 laps, not being able to overtake. Oh, nice spin. That's a spin for just
Just
smell.
the smell, yeah. It's just he's accelerated and it's just spun him round. Not only that, I think Johan has had an accident as well. Same corner. Everyone's struggling here. Gone a bit wide, yep. And then I think we've seen that 3-4 times now, haven't we?
Yeah, but
Pit entry.
he have gone a little bit on the grass. He had a wheel on the grass. The other drivers have just looked up. He had the wheel on the grass, and that made the car go straight into the wall. Svano Betega. Now he rounds the corner, well, without any mistake. Will he try any move into the hairpin? No, he thought about it. I'm sure he thought about it, but it's a hard place to do a move. Also, Spoon is not a place you would like to overtake.
Benny's crashed. Benny's out. I will see if anything happens here. We'll stay on board with this just to see.
Svano Betega now going through the crossover. On the run to 130R, he's a little bit far. I don't think he will try anything here. No, he's far. He cannot do anything. But will he sends one on his side? Whoa, what a dive bomb! Nothing came out of it, but that was a dive bomb and a half. That was something that you would see on the Arva YouTube channel if you watch him. But Svano Betega now a little bit easier. Takes 8th place. I don't know if our viewers watch it, but I remember when 3 or 4 years ago I was watching Arva and also Tiana Marduk, racing together, and there was this joke about them dive bombing. Anyways, we're now watching Benny Fidge going straight into the wall.
Yeah, that's his race done. He's not the only one as well. There's been another one. Here's another incident. What's happened here? Is this a move then? Or is this... Oh no! Oh no!
That's huge. That's a big crash for Jean Vale. Let's see, Mark Stevens is still out. He haven't pitted. So I don't know what is he waiting for. Still another lap in.
E2 hasn't pitted either, I've noticed. That's... Oh, here we go. That's Stefan for another move. Is that P7 now?
Betega now easier. Down inside, 130R. Baskessel keeps there, but nothing to do about it. Svano Betega is on your time, but he goes a little bit wide. He locked up. But he keeps the pace. He keeps the pace. Still 8th place. Silvio Lazar is now in the pit lane. So, Mark Stevens still on track, but we're now watching the battle between Bas Kessel and Stefano Bettega. Bas Kessel gets the place back. That's a beautiful overtake.
And this is
Wow.
for position because Bass has pitted under the safety car, so this is for position on track completely. Both have now made the stops.
So this is why Bas Kessel was so keen to take back the place, and he has done it. He's now back in 6th place. And he's looking like he's going to form in a beautiful battle. Stefano Bettega is keeping behind, now going through turns 8 and 9. Up the hill to that's Steve Grabowski. Just want to mention, going to hairpin, but Steve Grabowski has crashed and he doesn't have a front wing. So that's Alex Eguia getting a free place. That looked like it was a big crash from the outcome, but no. Just he crashed and the front wing just disappeared. But Mark Stevens and Radich Key are now in the pit lane. So this is it. Mark Stevens, 7 laps to recover. We will see how much will he have to recover. The pit is done. Mark Stevens is back out. Will he get back ahead of Mark Stevens? Yes, he does. So that's him getting a free road to Lugavunch, 13 seconds in 7 laps. So if my mathematics are correct, that's 2 seconds per lap that Mark Stevens will need to recover to Lugavunch in order to get a win. What do you think, Wes? Will he be able to recover this with new tires? So we're now watching Mark Stevens already recover 6 tenths. So that's good. But as I've said, he needs to recover 2 seconds per lap. We're now watching Wojciech Kościuk, who is in 8th place. Mark Stevens, 1:28.4, so the gap is now down to 12.6 seconds. 6 laps to go, 12.6 seconds. He has recovered only 1.5, so that doesn't look like it's enough for him to go and take the win. We're now watching Wojciech Kościuk close to Stefan Hoffman.
So
5 tenths.
P7 here has not pitted. He is the only one that has not pitted yet.
I'm just keeping an eye on the gap between the first 2 drivers, and it doesn't look like it's going down as it should. There are still 12 seconds between the first 2 drivers, so Mark Stevens with fresh tires is not looking like he's going to be able to recover the gap, because on this lap he only recovered 2 tenths of a second. So from 12.4 it's gone to 12.2.
He needs to do qualifying laps. He's going to close that gap.
And it doesn't look like he does.
He does have the fastest lap of the race at the moment, which is 8 tenths quicker than Luca's best lap, but he needs to do more.
That's not enough, Wes. That's not enough. We're only 5 laps till the end of the race. Let's see. Wojciech Kościuk is still chasing down Stefan Hoffman. The gap between them is 3 tenths and has been 3 tenths for a long time. And I'm now watching a battle between Silvio Lazar, and I think that's just a smelt. Just a smelt Schreider moved around the outside of 130R, but that's very hard to do. An overtake there. Wojciech Kościuk and Stefan Hoffman also very close onto each other. We're now watching another battle between Leon Van Elvoet and Kevin Stam. Leon Elvoet is in 12th place. Wow! What a recovery! He has been in about 3 or 4 incidents, and he's still in 12th place, so that's very interesting to see. Gap between the first two drivers, 10 seconds. 4.5 laps to go. The gap at the start of the lap was, and we're seeing now the gap. We're seeing the wrong gap. We're seeing the gap between Mark Stevens and
Lost in the
Alex
right
Albon.
one there.
Now we're watching the gap, and it has gone down, not by enough. Not by enough, only 2 seconds in last lap. Let's see now, Luca Wunsch, 129.6. Let's keep an eye on Mark Stevens. How will he end up? 127.8. So that's 1.5 seconds recovered. Good lap, but still not enough. Still not enough. Because we're very close to the end of the race.
That was the fastest lap of the race he just set. That last lap, so he's really going for it, but what is it under? It's under 10 now, but what we got? 4 laps? Not going to be enough. I noticed that Luca had a car for company here. I'm not sure if that's helping or hindering him at all here, having a back marker just behind him.
3 laps and a half to the end of the race and 9 seconds and a half the gap. So Luca Wunsch needs to recover about 3 or even 4 seconds per lap in order to have the time to make the race winning overtake. So I think this is it. This is it, because he's not recovering anymore. Luca Wunsch looks like he escaped as the winner of the race. And we don't have many places where there are still battles going on. The only place is here between Bas Kessel and Wojciech Kościuk. Also Radicki recovered a lot of time to Alex Eguia, and we know that Radicki is on fresh tires, so we should be watching that there. Radicki close to 130R and close to Alex Eguia, but will not try anything. He's on fresh tires, so he knows that he should take this easy, think about it, and not make any crazy moves. Now, at the start of lap 24, going on the run to turn 1, straight line, DRS, new tires, probably charged battery, and this is it. Radicki up in 3rd place. And after we've had Luca Wunsch and Alex Eguia first and second in the first 2 races, we might not see the Spanish driver on the podium this race. And that's an overtake. Bas Kessel overtook Wojciech Kościuk, or he just kept the place. I think he just kept the place because Bas Kessel was ahead of Wojciech Kościuk before. So that's a interesting exchange of positions there.
Stefan in P8 still not pitted yet with 2 laps ready to go. Does have to pit at some point here.
Well, I remember when I was a small kid and I was racing on Formula 1 2011 or 2012. I was going an entire race with the tires I started on, and I was curious to see what happens. So he might do the same, even though that's not what he should do, because we've heard in the driver's briefing at a service stream, you will get a penalty if you don't change tires. So Bas Kessel built the gap of 5/10, but that's not enough, especially here on Suzuka. Wojciech is still close. He's closing up on round 130R. It's impossible to do an overtake here. But Bas Kessel recovered 11 places from the grid. He started in 17th and is now up in 6th place. Let's see DRS. Wojciech Kościuk behind Kessel. Going to turn 1 and turn 2 now. Impossible to try anything here, especially that he's so far away. Now through the S's, turn 3, 4. And now going through turn 5, and then we will see 6 and 7 very fast corners. Absolutely classic and historic section. And we're now going through turn 8 and 9. We've seen a lot of incidents here in turn 9. Hopefully will not happen anything. Oh, just as I said it! That's the commentator curse of Bas Kessel, who has just gone straight into the wall there. Oh no! He just locked up and gone straight to the wall. That was like the 6th or 7th mistake that we've seen at the same corner. While we're going through the last lap. Meanwhile, we're watching the replay of Vasquez's crash. Again, a wheel on the grass. Nothing you could do about it. Locked up and gone straight into the wall. And here we are, as I've said, last lap of the race. Luka Wunsch will go and win this race because the gap between him and Mark Stevens is 6.6 seconds. We're also seeing, I'm seeing there on the timing tower, exchange of positions there for P10, Jason Smith and Steve Grabowski. Let's see, they're going to 130R. Will Steve show anything here? It's very hard to move. There was a notification that Mark Stevens was out of the race. I don't know what happened. I think that's only some timing glitch. Steve Grabowski is close to Jasper Smith. Will try anything in turn 1. It's the last lap. So obviously he will be elbow sound and he does the move round the outside. That's a beautiful, beautiful move for P10 and last place to the point. But we're now watching Luka Wunsch, the driver who is still undefeated in this league. He won at Silverstone. He won at Spa. He will win at Suzuka. Luka Wunsch, the invisible. 3 out of 3 pole position and also race win here at Suzuka. Amazing race by the German driver. Mark Stevens 6 seconds behind him. He also set a good lap. The mission that he has put himself to, he couldn't accomplish it and he just finished second. Radicki in 3rd place. Alex Seguia in 4th. For the first time, the Spanish driver will not be on the podium. Stefano Betega in 5th place. An amazing race done by the Italian driver. A lot of overtakes, and that was very interesting. Silvio Lazar just gets the overtake on Bad Kessel for 8th place. Stefan Hoffman finished the race on the same tires, so Wes, did he pit it?
That's so much fun. Yeah, good race, guys.
Steve Grabowski in 10th. Jasper Smelt just entered the pit lane.
Nice check.
I don't know what happened. Leon Van Elvoet now will finish the race in 12th place. And Nguyen down in 13th place. So this was it for the race here at Suzuka. And also got information from the stewards that there's nothing else to note for now. So no more incidents that will be under investigation. Hopefully we will also get some interviews post race. So this is it, the results from the race. Luka Wunsch won the race at Suzuka, as we've said. Mark Stevens second, Radecki in 3rd place, Alex Seguin in 4th place, Stefano Betega in 5th place, Wojciech Kościuk in 6th place, Stefan Hoffman 7th, Steve Lazar 8th, Bas Kessel 9th, and Steve Grabowski in 10th place. Liam Van Elvoet in 11th, Ngok Kang Nguyen 12, Jaso Smelt, Kevin Stam, João So Vale, Antonio De Aferia, Giacomo Canavesi, and Elias Promo running up the first 18 drivers.
I do believe, as you said, the steward has said nothing else to know, but I would assume that the car not pitting during the race will be under investigation once they realise that happened. I like to think.
Yes, I don't know if we will have any interviews. I think that we will just be on it. And here is our winner, Luca Wunsch, just going to the grid and celebrating his win. So I think we'll have an interview with Luca Wunsch. Let's see if he will just join. Hello, Luca.
Hello.
You have won the race in a pretty dominant manner, and you have had a different strategy. So just talk us through the race.
Yeah, at the start, or when the safety car came out, I didn't know if the pit lane is open. And just right when I passed the pit entry, the race control said pit entry is open. So I was a bit angry because I wanted to go for the early stop with the mediums and go through the race, but and then I pitted lap 2. And I think it wasn't even that bad because I had a bigger gap to the other cars, and I've come 3 to 4 cars ahead of Alex, who was right behind me at the start. So it wasn't that bad at the start. And then yeah,
Yep.
I just tried to manage the tires to the end because 25 laps is really long, I would say. And yeah, it went pretty well. I didn't thought that I will win.
Yep. And after the driver behind you pitted, I wonder, was there any moment when you thought that Mark Stevens on fresh tires will catch up to you? Because the gap was about 14 seconds after he boxed.
Yeah, I definitely thought he will catch up. I think those softs are really, really fast at the beginning, but they drop so hard at the and yeah, I think it was a little bit lucky for me that the tires dropped that much, so I could keep the gap on the 6 seconds.
Yep. Thank you, Luca. Congratulations for the race.
Thank you.
And I don't know if we'll have any other interviews. We should be hearing also from Mark Stevens, who finished in second place. So just watching now the steward's note. Stefan Hoffman. Looks like he boxed. Anyways, we have with us Mark Stevens. Hello, Mark.
Hi guys, hello.
You finished second in a pretty tense race, so I want you to just talk us through your race.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Suzuka is a really hard track, and I had a good qualifying, and I qualified on yellow, so I didn't go in when the safety car came because I didn't thought the red tires would last that long. So I stayed out. But yeah, when I saw Luca going in, I was like, yeah, it will be really hard to win. So I'm happy with second.
After you boxed, the gap between you and Luca was about 14 seconds. And I remember when I was commentating, I was like, okay, he has recovered 2 seconds. And I was just making all of the mathematics in my head. And I wonder what was going through your head. And did you thought that you have the pace to recover and win the race at that point?
Nah, because I never raced here with this car, I don't know how much faster I am with new tires. But yeah, he was really fast, so I didn't think I could win. But when I saw the gap closing that fast, I thought if he makes a mistake, he's mine. But yeah, he had a really good race.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mark.
Yes, thank you guys. Till next week.
Okay, and I think we will also have Radicki. In the interview room, but I'm not really sure if he will come here. So just as I'm seeing people chatting on the race chat, a lot of drivers did not switch the compounds, Wes.
Oh, really? Is that what's
Yes.
interesting?
So we might have drama after the race ending. Anyways, I'm curious if we will have Radicki in our commentary booth, because I would really like to hear from him and also ask him how is his name going to be pronounced, because yeah, I think he's the entire race of calling him Radicki, and it would just be interesting to have him also here. But okay, so I don't think we'll have any interviews, but we might see some drama, because I've just got information now from the stewards that the compounds that the driver used will be investigated after the race. So it's going to be double checked. Every pit stop will be checked after the race, and we might see some penalties being applied, because as I've heard, there have been some drivers that have pitted and they have come out of the box with the same compound of tires. So anyways, I think we will announce the final standings on our Instagram. And until then, this was it for our stream here at Suzuka. I have been Edward, alongside me have been Wes. Until the next time, take care, guys.